Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to ShortSalePowerHour.com. I'm your host, Kevin Kaufman. This is my co-host, Fred Weaver. We are Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team.
All right.
That makes me a co-host, too.
You said I'm your host. This is my co-host.
Yeah, well,
you didn't say I'm the co-host, Kevin Kaufman, and I'm joined by my other co-host.
But I did the intro.
Sure.
You can say it however you want.
Okay, so Kevin, let's jump right in. They know we're Group 4610, we're Arizona's premier short sale team.
This one's funny.
I want to talk about an article that actually appeared on Housing Wire last Monday, in fact, so about 8 days ago.
Okay.
This is the title of the article. Freddie Mac CEO. Mortgage forbearance is preferable to foreclosure.
What?
Okay, so in an exclusive one-on-one with Housing Wire, Freddie Mac CEO Charles Haldeman said that foreclosure is the least attractive option from a secondary market's perspective.
No, really?
And considers forbearance a viable option to keeping seriously delinquent borrowers in their homes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on. Read that last sentence again.
Foreclosure is the least attractive option from a secondary market perspective and considers forbearance a viable option to keeping seriously delinquent borrowers in their homes.
That's funny. Forbearance is a viable option to keeping homeowners.
Let me go through this a little bit more. Haldeman said that forbearance as an option in loss mitigation is not currently as popular as mortgage modifications or even short sales, but still one that Freddie considers highly useful. Forbearance is not a new idea, he was quoted as saying. It is not a new government-imposed program like HAMP, he said. It is a tool that Freddie has used for a long period of time. Haldeman said that normally if a borrower gets ill or loses their job, Freddie will traditionally use forbearance for 6 months, and then the payments that are forborne are restructured into a new monthly payment going forward once the borrower recovers or gets a new job. Now, I know you want to say something. Let me keep going here. That has been helpful for many families who have gotten in trouble over the past decade. Blah, 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 blah.
Lie.
The thought process is that foreclosure is a very expensive proposition for the investor. Therefore, if we can make a modification or adjustment that is significant but that keeps the homeowner in the home, then often the investor is better off economically.
Yes.
Haldeman estimates that Freddie currently owns 25% of the total U.S. mortgage market. And the more foreclosures there are, the more pressure on house prices there is, and the more vulnerable Freddie Mac's mortgage books become. So, nationwide, the article wraps up by saying that there are 5 million seriously delinquent mortgages. Freddie Mac currently owns 10% of those 5 million. I don't know about you guys, but they currently own 25% of the total U.S. mortgage market, but they only own 10% of the seriously delinquent mortgages.
Oh, they must have done a much better job of underwriting than everybody else.
So, they factor that's about 500,000 mortgages. During the past 18 months, Haldeman says Freddie helped 350,000 borrowers avoid foreclosure. Now, listen to this article. Number one, they own 25% of the portfolio, but only 10% of the seriously delinquent loans are theirs. Number two, the article states how many borrowers they helped avoid foreclosure, but the article is about forbearance. And nowhere in here did they give a statistic about how many forbearance plans have actually helped a homeowner avoid foreclosure.
I can give you the number.
Less than 100?
It starts with 0, and it ends with 0, and it rhymes with hero.
Okay. That's probably a little low.
Okay, little low, but are you freaking kidding me? Who is forbearance really helping?
Well, let's talk about a forbearance, so some of our viewers may not know what it is. A forbearance is simply a stop or a halt in a person's mortgage payment, meaning that a person has gone through what a lender would consider a temporary situation where they can't make their payments.
Okay.
And so the lender agrees to a forbearance, which is we won't report to the credit reporting agencies and we won't collect payment. We won't require you to pay us for a certain period of time.
Okay.
The CEO referenced 6 months as being an acceptable time.
Sure.
But after the end of that forbearance, we expect that you've gotten your financial position back in line and that we're going to have to work out a new agreement with you, meaning that all those 6 months of payments that you just didn't make, well, we have to wrap that past due money that you didn't give us into your new payment going forward. So, do forbearances help some homeowners out there? Yes. Do they address the fact that homeowners' properties throughout the country, specifically in Arizona, the majority of them are upside down? No. Do forbearances address the fact that most people we deal with on a daily basis in Arizona don't want to stay in their upside down houses? No. Do forbearances really help people in the long run? No, in fact, they give them a higher mortgage payment until they catch up the past due, and then the other mortgage payment really starts. So, I mean, great that Housing Wire got the Freddie Mac CEO to do an exclusive interview with
I
them.
would ask.
But why don't we report on something that's actually like
worthwhile,
newsworthy?
something to actually help people and make an impact?
Yeah. I'm all for forbearance. I think it's a good concept for a very small portion of the population.
Well, so is deed in lieu of foreclosure.
For a very small portion of the population.
Right. Why are we writing articles about forbearance and when we've got a chance to talk to the CEO of Freddie Mac? Really? That's what we're reporting on now? Forbearance? Forbearance is not real. It's not helping anybody.
Here's why I'm fired up about it, Kevin. I'm really fired up, and I didn't just bring this article in today to just go, that's dumb, that's stupid. Because, you and I can do that, and anybody can do that.
We tend to do that.
But why I'm really frustrated is because, as an agent out there, last week, we mentioned this yesterday in Mindset Monday, but last week we did a webinar and a live thing with a local TV studio. Had 100, 200 plus people that joined us either live or on this webinar. And the amount of misinformation, misguided information, and the amount of just lies that have been told to these homeowners that they've believed is incredibly high. Meaning, they think there's all these options to help them avoid foreclosure, but when you really get down and explain what a forbearance is, and what a deed in lieu of foreclosure is, and what a repayment plan looks like, and what most modifications look like, and when you really break it down and look at the options and avoid foreclosure, there aren't very many suitable options for homeowners. No. Now, again, it applies to a small part of the population, but the problem is that the article makes it sound like Freddie Mac's doing this big push for forbearances. And
yeah, I'm not saying that helping a small amount of people isn't worth it, because anybody who gets help, that's fantastic.
Agreed.
But for Pete's sake, let's start helping the masses.
Thank you.
And that's all I'm asking for.
And I want to see the media outlets, and I want to see us real estate agents start helping the homeowner. Not only by closing short sales, but by refuting crap like this.
Yeah. I'm tired of the front page news. I'm tired of the CEOs of these major corporations going, well, we're doing X, Y, and Z to help people. Really? Let's get real. Let's get truthful. Let's be honest, and let's actually, get our hands dirty and help some people out.
So you know what? We don't control banks, we don't control investors, we don't control the government, but agents out there and even homeowners that are watching us right now and anybody else, you can do your part by spreading good news. Yeah. So to end this episode on a good news note, it's don't believe everything you read, dig deeper and ask the experts. And agents, if you are an expert that's doing short sales out there, start educating your clients about these other alternatives to foreclosure and what they really are, and you'll find out that the majority of the time these other options are not long-term solutions for most people.
Yeah.
Say it that way?
That's a safe way to say it.
That sounds good. I think tomorrow, before we record tomorrow's episode, I've got to go do a little bit more homework. But I think tomorrow, if it's not tomorrow, it's going to be later this week. We're going to have a really, really, really good episode coming up. Like, really, really good.
I think they all are.
No, but this one's going to be really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going...
No, we're not going to get in trouble. Anymore. We're not going to do any on-location shots.
I'm just making sure.
Those usually end up in private videos that are not found on regular YouTubes and stuff like that. So we're not going to do any of that.
Okay, good.
Here, are you ready to wrap it up before I say something else?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Short sale power hour! Short sale power hour!
Crush it, Freddie.
Forbearance